12s, I need your help. We're closing in on 68,000 subscribers here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Less than 200 away from reaching that next milestone. I know that mandatory minicamp has wrapped up, but we are not slowing down here on the channel by any stretch of the imagination. There is no offseason here on Seahawks Today. We're counting you down towards training camp. We're bringing you daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, talking trades, free agency, breaking news, Q&A mailbags. We have our Madden Sims. We got it all in one place right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. Help us reach 68K subs. Less than 200 away from reaching that next milestone. Doesn't cost you a thing. 100% free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. And we'll get started with today's show. Mandatory minicamp is in the books for your Seattle Seahawks. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. In life, you can be one of two things. You are either a winner or you are a loser. And on today's show, we'll put a bow on mandatory minicamp and talk about the players who stood out and the players that disappointed here in just a bit. Let's kind of give you some context before we dive in too deep on this, folks. OTAs happened, and there was 100% attendance, which rarely happens in the NFL, folks. It was a pleasant surprise. And things went so well that Mike Macdonald said, you know what? Let's go ahead and cancel the final 2 OTAs practices. We've seen enough. Let's go ahead and get started with mandatory minicamp, move it up a little earlier, and then we'll send these guys on their way to enjoy the rest of their summer break before they return for training camp. And from all indications, from all the way back to rookie minicamp to OTAs, now mandatory minicamp, the vibes are immaculate. Things are going pretty dang well for Mike Macdonald's second season in Seattle already. Let's begin with the winners list, and we start with DeMarcus Lawrence, one of the newest members of the Seattle Seahawks, coming over from the Dallas Cowboys. And I'll be honest, we have not spent much time talking about D-Law since he signed with the Seattle Seahawks. He's been kind of an afterthought with so much going on with Sam Darnold and Jalen Milroe and some of the other guys that are out there. But DeMarcus Lawrence in mandatory minicamp, he made his presence known, as Brady Henderson of ESPN said the following. The non-contact nature of spring practices hasn't allowed DeMarcus Lawrence to show off the physicality that's been his calling card for over a decade in the NFL. But the 33-year-old defensive end is still managing to make an impression on his new Seahawks teammates and set a tone with the younger ones. I like hearing that, a tone setter. And that's been a common theme that we've heard about from some of these older players, from Jaron Reed, even guys that aren't that old, but they're veterans like Ernest Jones and Devin Witherspoon. That's been a common trend that you've seen from the veterans on this defense, and DeMarcus Lawrence also is a part of that equation. When I look at DeMarcus Lawrence heading into 2025, it all comes down to health for me. If he can stay healthy, then watch out. He's going to be an impact player, and he can have a fantastic season. And one thing that we've mentioned on this show that I will continue to reiterate is go look back at the track record of Mike Macdonald of what he's done with these older edge rushers dating back to his days in Baltimore. Whether it was Justin Houston, Jadeveon Clowney, Jason Pierre-Paul, Kyle Van Noy, some of these older pass rushers that teams had given up on or that they just weren't playing as well as they had previously in their careers. Mike Macdonald got a little something out of them and was able to push them and find the fountain of youth. And DeMarcus Lawrence, this is a guy the Dallas Cowboys gave up on. And he fits exactly that mold of what we're talking about, of what Mike Macdonald has had success with. If the health is there, watch out. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to have a fantastic season, and it would not shock me one iota if he ends up leading this team in sacks this season. The tank, is he coming for vengeance, folks? It's our pinned comment today. Do you believe in DeMarcus Lawrence? Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in, let me know what you think. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in and tell me what you think of D-Law, what he's going to do this upcoming season. Let's talk about a rookie now. Nick Emmanwori is next on our winners list. He has been talked about a lot from his new relationship with Cam Chancellor to developing a tight bond with his fellow South Carolina Gamecock in Ernest Jones. But it's not just the relationships. It has been very productive for him on the football field, and they've gotten him involved in a variety of different ways. Greg Bell of the Tacoma News-Tribune outlined it this way. The rookie second-round pick practiced at safety. He did outside linebacker drills, and at times he lined up with Ernest Jones as the defense's only linebackers in scrimmage. Emmanwori was the nickel defensive back inside. He defended tight ends and wide receivers. He blitzed multiple times, forcing Darnold to lawn dart throws into the turf. He defended tight ends and wide receivers. I'm very high on Nick Emmanwori. I had a first-round grade on him. I think he's going to be a star in this league, and I check all the time what you guys are saying in the comments, and people ask me all the time, is Emmanwori going to be a starter? What's his role going to be in this defense? And I don't know if he's necessarily a starter per se, but I do think that he will get the snap count of a starting player and that he'll be used in a variety of ways. We saw him in college play safety, nickelback, outside back, inside linebacker, outside linebacker. You can plug and play him and find a role for him. And it might come down to injuries and what the personnel looks like. But one way or another, Nick Emmanwori, he's going to be great, and he's going to be a big part of the Seahawks' success on defense here in 2025. Next up, a guy that we have spent a lot of time on as well, another fellow rookie this offseason. That is quarterback Jalen Milroe, the third-round pick out of Alabama. And the discussions with Jalen Milroe, we told you earlier this week about what Clint Kubiak had to say, that he's already shown massive progression from what he was starting at mandatory minicamp to OTAs and then to wrap up things with mandatory minicamp. There, just the stretch that he's been on. He's been really putting in the work, showing up at 4:30 in the morning, getting on the practice field, doing beyond what's been asked of him. And it's showing in the results on the football field as well. Greg Bell tweeting this out. Rookie Jalen Milroe throwing today to end Seahawks minicamp. These last two practices, his best so far. Coach Mike Macdonald told his third-round pick from Alabama during practice how much better he looks now compared to rookie minicamp in May. Milroe flashed him a beaming smile. An awesome offseason for Jalen Milroe. No matter how you shake it, it was a fantastic offseason for him. Now, does that mean he's going to be the starter week one for Seattle at quarterback? No. Barring an injury to Sam Darnold, that's not happening. Could he potentially be the guy down the line? Maybe so. But at least for now, Jalen Milroe is doing what is asked of him. I think he's going to play a significant role in this offense. They're going to have some packages for him. Everything is trending upwards. It's trending the right direction for Jalen Milroe. There's a lot of reason to be excited and optimistic about what he's going to do going forward. Is he the quarterback of the future for Seattle? What do you guys think? Predict it for me. Crystal ball time here on Seahawks Today. Type Y for yes, in for no. What do you think? Is Jalen Milroe that guy? Weigh in and tell me what you think. Let's talk about another quarterback now. We turn our attention to Sam Darnold, the QB1 for the Seattle Seahawks. And, you know, with Sam, it's been pretty fun, I would put it that way, when it comes to what he's done since coming to Seattle. We heard about how he was teaching the playbook already to these guys that he's played under Clint Kubiak before, and that he's already looked like a natural leader. We heard the back and forth about Cooper Kupp giving him a hard time about eating chicken strips and fries all the time and all that. He did have a bad practice in OTAs, but the reports after that were that he got better after every single practice after that. And now, even taking it a step further, according to Mike Macdonald, he's showing some swag as well with a little confidence. Listen to this from Mike Mack. There is some shit to him. Like, don't mess with him. He's got that edge to him, that competitiveness, and the guys respect that. But he's him. He's not trying to be anybody else, and you have to respect that about him. I like that. Sam Darnold, talk your shit. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. To me, that's exciting. Bring in the juice. Bring in the swag. You know, I look at Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback in the history of the game. And Tom Brady was a trash talker. And he played with a little bit of an edge to him. He wasn't afraid to get in a defender's face. He wasn't afraid to call out their teammates when they made a mistake, but also found the right tone to motivate his guys as well. Sam Darnold, I like having a little bit of an edge to him. I honestly did not know this about Sam Darnold. I was talking to our Vikings host, Patrick Seatman, and telling him about this, and he said, this is the first I've heard about this. I didn't know Sam was this way. And to me, it's all good. It's all positive until it's not. But if Mike Macdonald likes it, then by all means, I think that's a very good thing. We got Nike Seahawks T-shirts on sale now for just $15.99. That's it, $15.99 to get these Nike T-shirts. Look, it's getting hot outside, folks. You want to rep your favorite team as well. Why not get one of these fantastic Nike T-shirts for just $15.99? Chatsports.com/SeahawksT is where you can get yours today. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. We got all sorts of different sizes for your liking. We also have other Seahawks merchandise available at that same link. Go check it out now. Chatsports.com/SeahawksT to get yours now. Last on our list is Leonard Williams. And we'll put Leonard on here for very similar reasons to what we've talked about with some of these veteran defensive players of the leadership qualities. We know Leonard Williams is a fantastic football player. I have argued that he might be the most underrated defensive player in all of football. And we saw the difference that he made immediately when Seattle traded for him at the trade deadline just a couple of years ago. And this is what Leonard Williams had to say about mandatory minicamp. I'm going into year 11, so I've played a lot of football and been on a lot of teams. And not only am I seeing that we have a very talented team right now, one thing that stands out above the talent is just the connection. That's something I've been trying to talk to the guys about. That's really going to take us to that next level where we want to go. I've told them that I've been on tons of talented teams, that we had great players at all positions, but we just didn't have that same connection. He's leading by example. Simple as that. He is leading by example. He is putting the message out there. He understands the assignment. He is saying, here's what we need to do to execute, and we're going to do it, and we're going to get the job done. To me, that's fantastic. You love hearing that from your veteran players. And, you know, we've mentioned it, that the reports have been about the continuity and the chemistry that's on this team, and it's very real. It's showing with guys like Leonard Williams, with Ernest Jones, among others. It's being passed down in this defense, which was a lot better in the second half of last season compared to the first half. I think we have every reason to believe they're going to pick up right from where they left off and build upon that here in 2025. With the losers in a moment, but first, name a winner from Seahawks Minicamp. We gave you 5 names. There's some others out there. Who comes to mind? Way in the comments section. Tell me who you think. The losers list, I got 2 names for you. We'll go with Kenneth Walker III at the running back spot, and we will go with offensive guard Sataoa Laumea as well. And let's start with Walker. He's out with an injury. There's been all sorts of rumblings that he potentially could get moved. He's the most likely running back to get traded. And Kenneth Walker has dealt with a number of injuries since he's been in Seattle. This is not anything new. The other thing, too, this is giving other running backs a chance. And there's more talk that Zach Charbonnet could get elevated to RB1. Kenny McIntosh has impressed, we've seen, when he's been given opportunity. Damian Martinez, there's plenty of excitement about. K9, I love you. I really do. But you're making it more tempting to potentially move on from you when these type of things happen. Meanwhile, with Laumea, remember last year he was ahead of Christian Haynes on the depth chart, despite Haynes being drafted ahead of him, and he got to start some games. And now, we fast forward to now, he's not getting first-team reps at all. The guard spot at the right guard position is between Bradford and Haynes to win that job, and quite frankly, he's getting passed up. Now, hopefully, he can be a quality backup, and we've seen the Seahawks have a number of injury issues. He very well might have his name called, and hopefully he's ready to go. But his opportunity may have passed him by to be a starting guard potentially for this Seahawks team. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now for free. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.